Leanne Spencer!
Thank you. So good evening. I think it's really important every now and again to take yourself into your discomfort zone, and in a big way as well. And I try and do that 3 or 4 times a year. So when my boxing coach, this gentleman John here, said to me, "Are you up for a white-collar boxing match?" I said, "Yes. How hard can it be, right?" Well, it turns out pretty fucking hard, and I spent a lot of time visualising myself like Ronda Rousey over there, being held aloft in victory, carried across the ring, and roaring in victory, and completely shitting myself, which is this very dim picture you've got on the other side there. So it was a real chasm of emotions. But I said yes. So the next step for me was to get the equipment. Some of it I had because I've been boxing, pad work, bag work, nothing contact for quite a long time. But I had the gloves, I got the head guard, I got the gum shield specially made for my very jagged teeth, and I was off. And where I'd been doing my boxing up until then was a place called Miguel's Boxing Gym, which is under the Arches in Loughborough Junction in South London. And it's a classic under the Arches boxing gym as well. So you've got sweat and condensation running down the walls. There's a few pictures of it here. You've got the ring, you've got the bags. You've got little old men doing the coaching with their eyesight ruined from boxing. It's full of people. It's a really sort of high-octane environment. So I'd said yes. I've got the kit. I've started the training in earnest, and that started really with sparring. So I'm learning my first lesson here in how to box. It's really simple. Keep your hands up. And you'd be amazed how slow I was to learn that. I took so many uppercuts, so many hooks. I got tinnitus in one ear, a perforated eardrum in the other. My nose pissed blood for the first 4 weeks of sparring. I can see some of you are thinking, I really fancy that. Anyway, this is it. So we get sparring. So this person here is called Heather. She's much shorter than me. She's like the Joe Pesci of amateur boxing. She's up in your grill. She won't go away. She's constantly throwing shots. She was much more adept than I was at boxing. And then there's a guy here. He's 6'3", a real lump. So I sparred with him as well. That's actually Steve, the man I was paying the money for to get the training. So that was an interesting dynamic, as you can imagine. But I sparred a lot, so that eventually it got comfortable getting hit. And that's where you need to get to with it. It's a really bizarre thing, because for the first few weeks, you're just getting hit and coming back for more. But eventually, it started to feel normal. So you can see, though, I look quite happy, I think. And these are some of my other sparring partners, and we look like we're having a great time. We've just been battering each other for 3-minute rounds. But the day arrives of the fight, and I'm pretty pensive. I actually go out for a walk to try and calm my nerves down a bit. And I've got an entourage of people coming to watch me, and I've got a handful of people in the car who are coming down with me to the fight itself. The first problem we got was a major setback, so I put the postcode on the tickets into my sat-nav. We get to it says you've reached your destination. I look up, it's Kennington Tube. It's the wrong postcode on the tickets, which is exactly the sort of preparation you want for your first boxing match. You're stuck at fucking Kennington Tube, your entourage are behind you, some of them are phoning up saying, "I'm at Kennington Tube." I'm like, I know. I'm ringing the promoter's not answering his phone. It was a fucking nightmare start for me, but I tried to keep cool. Eventually, the promoter rings me back with the correct postcode. It's only about 10 minutes away, so I get it, we head off when we get to the venue. Interestingly, my opponent is waiting outside, so we've actually done pleasantries in our normal clothing before we meet in the ring, which was a bit disconcerting. The ring walk, this is the really exciting bit, because you've had your hands wrapped, you've got all the kit on, and you're ready to go. The adrenaline is pumping. I had this banging tune in the background as well, and I'd make my way into the ring. My face is lubricated in grease so that if you get hit, the punches slide off. And that's it. You go. Round 1, you're taught all this technique when you learn to box, and I can tell you it goes out the window the minute you get in the ropes and the first bell goes. It was a bun fight. We had technique, and it wasn't a rout, like this, but it was a bun fight. She wanted to rip my head off. I wanted to rip hers off, and that's what we set to do for 2 minutes. Round 2, I was told by my coach in the corner, "You've got this first round. You just need to maintain it in round 2, and then you'll nick it that way." But she was the promoter's girl, so I knew I had to do something a little bit special in order to win the fight. And round 2, you can see where we're going. This is a good shot. I'm landing a nice jab on her. I think some of the others are not so impressive. Round 3, this is the final round, so it's 3 2-minute rounds, and we are absolutely going for it. She's starting to fatigue. My fitness was better. So I reckon I've nicked this, but we just go at it. We're throwing jabs, hooks, body shots. We've got each other up on the ropes. all the way up until the bell, we are absolutely going for it. End of the 3 2-minute rounds, both of us are jubilant, both of us are winking at the corner saying we've got this. So we wait there, the referee's in the middle, I'm expecting my arm to be lifted in victory, and sure enough, the ref gives my hand a little squeeze. I'm like, go on then, up it goes. He lifts my arm and I think, nice, and I look across and he's lifted hers as well. It's only a draw. So it was a draw. I mean, what could you do? We both thought we'd got it. You can see, I think, is it this one? It's really dim. Anyway, you can see here, that's where we're hugging it out. Yeah, we just tried to tear each other's heads off for 3 2-minute rounds with a lot of malice, and then we're hugging it out at the end. So what did I learn? I learned that when you get into your discomfort zone and you push yourself through things that you don't want to do, I hate saying magic happens, but you know, everything you do after that is easier because you've built resilience, spiritual, emotional, mental, physical resilience. And you achieve things that you didn't think you could. And if you can do that every 3 or 4 months, you will find yourself very quickly become a much stronger person. Things won't frighten you. So I really recommend that you think about doing something. For me, what's next? I'm doing a 22-mile run up and down Snowdon, my 3rd marathon. The week after Snowdon, I'm doing a coast-to-coast across Scotland on foot. So my challenge is, what can you do to push yourself? Maybe it's getting up here on Matt's hallowed stage next time he does an event. Maybe it's running up and down Snowdon for 22 miles. Maybe it's a boxing match. Maybe not. It's not for everyone. But think about what you can do to build resilience, to make yourself a stronger person. Thank you very much.